Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the U.S. has had enough when it comes to China and their actions.
There's been this long challenge of the Chinese Communist Party stealing intellectual property. President Trump has said enough. We're not going to allow this to continue to happen. We are setting out clear expectations for how the Chinese Communist Party is going to behave. And when they don't, we're going to take actions that protect the American people.
Well, the State Department ordering the Chinese consulate in Houston to close. Local witnesses cited diplomats burning documents. Now China's threatening to retaliate against the U.S., and I'm sure they will. Here to discuss it, State Department spokesman Morgan Ortagus. Morgan, always great to see you.
Thanks, Brian. Good morning.
Big move in Houston, and the burning of documents. Is that noteworthy?
Well, they have to close the consulate by 4 p.m. on Friday, as ordered by the State Department. And, Brian, I think it's important for your viewers to know the reason why we took this action of closing the Houston consulate. We uncovered, through our partnership with the FBI and DOJ, that Houston was the epicenter of research theft in the United States by the Chinese Communist Party. There were things going on like something the Chinese called the 1,000 Talents Program. This program was specifically designed to recruit Chinese citizens to come to the United States, to steal from our research institutions like MD Anderson, to steal from energy technology and technology companies in the Houston area. So we've uncovered, of course, a spy ring. We've uncovered massive, at least $1 billion of research theft in just one case alone that the FBI has uncovered. And so we're putting a stop to the stealing of American intellectual property, the stealing of American research, which, of course, ultimately takes American jobs.
So when we look at consulates in Boston, we look at consulates in San Francisco, why not pick them? Why did you pick Houston? Was it the most egregious in Houston? And will you be prepared to show that to members of Congress?
Absolutely. We work closely with members of Congress and appreciate their support on holding the Chinese Communist Party accountable. And I think that there's actually a lot of bipartisan support. When it comes to which consulate we determine to do, we obviously work closely with the FBI to look and see what nefarious activities, spy rings, stealing that I talked to you about goes on. We made the decision that because Houston was the epicenter of research theft for the Chinese Communist Party in the United States, that it was just untenable to keep that consulate open.
So as we look around the world, we saw the UK push back on Huawei and 5G. We saw Australia changing their defense strategies and almost defend now with their Marines and others against a possible China attack because things have gotten so tense between them. Those are two big allies with us. We're also seeing the China-Iran alliance upset Saudi Arabia. This is a window, it seems, from the outside for the U.S. to consolidate allies and those on the fence against China. What are we doing?
Brian, I couldn't have said it better myself. I was with Secretary Pompeo the past few days in London, in Copenhagen. We were with Prime Minister Boris Johnson in London and Foreign Minister Rob, and we were talking about exactly this threat and how we rally the world together against the new Chinese tyranny, new aggression under Chairman Xi, the head of the Chinese Communist Party. I think it's important to note, Brian, that over the past 40 to 50 years, we have tried through Republican and Democratic administrations. We've tried opening up to China. We've tried appeasement. We've tried doing more business and getting both countries to come together, bringing them into international organizations. And what you'll see today at around 4:30 Eastern Time, Secretary Mike Pompeo will be at the Nixon Library to give what I think is one of the most historic speeches as it relates to foreign policy that anyone will give in this administration. He's going to lay out exactly what the Chinese Communist Party has done, how our opening to China has failed, and how we are now embarking on a new policy, which is distrust and verify as it relates to the Chinese Communist Party.
So that'll be expanded to the Nixon Library today, and it's a perfect spot because it was Nixon who opened the door to Red China. We had great hopes, but we've been vastly disappointed, to say the least. We're going to take us. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.